Hello friends, and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today we are going to be getting our first look, and by that I really don't mean our first look, because we are a few days into the Luke Skywalker Hero's Journey event. Now, I started filming the morning this event went live, and I struggled. The RNG was not with me. I started farming Old Ben. He was the one that had screwed me over, really, for a long time. I actually started farming about 3 weeks ago, before this event was even talked about or launched, or maybe it was 4 weeks ago. But I wasn't really farming with any real vigor or strength, and it just left me in the lurch. The other characters I already had 7-star. I already had gear level 9 or above. Leia and Han and R2. Leia and Han are gear level 12 or 11, and R2 was gear level 10. But I struggled with getting Old Ben. So as you can see here, when I started this, I was 32 shards out of 85, and it just killed me as I was going through this. Like I'm showing you here, R2 and Farm Boy Luke really, you know, we're ready to go, but these guys, oh, Old Ben just screwed me over. Now, there are 6 tiers in this event, and what's really neat about this entire event is it follows the storyline of Luke Skywalker. I mean, from the moment he meets Old Ben and R2 and he fights the Tusken Raiders, and he moves through all the way until he faces off to get off the Death Star, and it's really neat to see how they've put this together, the story and everything. I really like how they've done it. At the end of each tier, we get 50 crystals and 55 shards for Commander Luke. Now, you've probably seen a number of Commander Luke videos in the last couple of days. He is going to be a powerhouse, so you're definitely going to be wanting to get Commander Luke to gear level 12 when it launches, or as high as you can until then. He is going to quite possibly change the meta. Now, I know a lot of you probably agree with that. I think it will take some time, but he is definitely one that you're going to be wanting to get up. I just love this story. It's just really cool. It would have been kind of neat to have like an intro to it. Maybe like have R2 show up to Luke, or have Old Ben find Luke in the desert. That would have been sweet too. Just some additional videos. I think that would have been cool just to have. Now, again, not complaining at all. I really, really enjoyed this. A little sad that we don't have a Rebel Chewie to be able to take this, to be able to throw in this. I would have loved if they just if Chewie's rework was, hey, he now has the Rebel tag and maybe some better stats. I don't know. We'll see. But that would be sweet. It would have been cool to see Chewie in this, to have use of him in this. He was a pretty major player in A New Hope. Or at least I would hope people would consider him a major player. But I think he was, for sure. Definitely there. For sure. And we don't see him. We don't see him in this event, and that's obviously because we don't have his rework done yet, and we don't have a Rebel Chewie. Again, we need something. But time will tell whether or not we get one. We probably will. I don't know. We have like 4 or 5 Hans at this point, so we're probably going to get a Rebel Chewie. But it is interesting to see how this event unfolds. Now, again, what's really cool about this event is the feedback that EA has gotten. In the forums, on Reddit, we have seen there have been some posts where the dev team or the devs who have worked on this have asked for feedback, and the feedback has been resoundingly positive. It's the post on the forum says that over 200,000 people have started this hero's journey and quite possibly completed it. We'll actually see how many have actually completed it. They may give us numbers, they may not. But again, the feedback has been positive. But one of the overwhelming pieces of feedback has been, we want to replay this. We love the story. We love to be able to play through bits and pieces of the story. Give us that. You don't even have to give us additional rewards. And I'm with the fans here. I'm with my fellow holo-tablers. I want to replay this. I loved this story. I want to see... Again, I want to see a Chewie. I want to see a C-3PO, although C-3PO wasn't huge into this. But I want to see it at escalating difficulty. The overall event wasn't that hard. The hardest part was farming your characters. Now, here is where I struggle. This is my RNG fail. I needed, like I said, I needed a few. As you saw, this event began for me. I started day 1. It took me 3 additional days to get from 35 of 85 to 91 or 99 out of 100. So that's some pretty good farming. But this last day, I refreshed 3 times and got very little shards, and it was infuriating. Now here's my first attempt with Old Ben. Now what's really cool about this is obviously Old Ben doesn't win the fight against Vader. And so you're sent in to lose. You know you have to lose. And I think that's so cool that it keeps in line with the canon. So obviously for those of you looking for tips, you just hit defend a couple of times. You use his first ability that gives him defense up. And when the time is right, you just hit the sacrifice button, and Old Ben becomes one with the Force, and young Anakin here. I love the cinematography here, the cinematics, just really cool. Now here we have the 7th and final tier. It's the bonus tier. This is the tier where our crew is able to escape the Death Star and quite possibly make it off the ship to freedom. We know, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen A New Hope, they do make it, hence why there are 3 other movies that come after A New Hope and more on the way. Now, I really did like the event. I'm curious to know where they're going to go with this next. I would like to see maybe an Anakin Skywalker event becoming Darth Vader, but since we already have both of those characters, it's unlikely that we will get something like that. I could also see a Rey becoming a Jedi or whatever she becomes. We don't really know where they're taking The Last Jedi or the Jedi with The Last Jedi. It could be any number of places. I don't think that they're going to completely do away with the Jedi Code. I think they're going to change it and reform it, and I think Luke will essentially take it back to its roots, and we will get the original, the Jedi, or whatever it is called. But it would be cool to see Rey going through a similar hero's journey. We could see that with, if they were to introduce any other Old Republic characters, it would be cool to see that. It would be really awesome to see a Revan hero's journey, or the journey to the dark side instead of the light. That would be awesome. That would be a really cool way to introduce Revan if they decided to go that route, which I hope they do. I hope they introduce him as a character, and Malak and Malgus and all those other really sweet Sith. And this has been my very long hero's adventure, hero's journey to uncover and unlock Commander Luke, who I am very excited to be using. This was a great moment when I was able to activate button and make my Commander Luke 7-star. Loved that. Also loved that it only cost 100 credits. That was way nice. Didn't want to have to spend a million credits to get that. Are you excited with Commander Luke? Are you happy to have him? Are you looking forward to seeing what combinations come up? I'm sure you've seen a number of them already. He is amazing in the Rancor. He's also pretty solid in the Heroic. Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this latest character, on this event. What would you like to see this hero's journey transform into? What character would you like next to see take the hero's journey? This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.